Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Entrepreneurial Finance, financing through crowdfunding. What is financing through crowdfunding? Well, basically, this is funding provided by a crowd, so by many people. And there's many examples for that. Start with the Pebble watch, which is probably one of the most popular examples. The guys who wanted to build this Pebble watch, so-called Pebble watch, they raised more than 10 million US dollar. And in just 28 hours, 1 million US dollar financial support for the idea. And they just wanted to have 100K. So they were very successful in using many people to finance their idea of a Pebble watch. And the people who financed that later on could buy that Pebble watch then. So, and to some extent, it was selling the Pebble watch too, but the Pebble watch didn't exist. It was a project, it was an idea, like you as an entrepreneur also might have. Another example is this micro console, and this was an example for the most quickly funding, or the quickest funding process. They raised about 1 million. And every 6 seconds, or 5.59 seconds, they had a bid on this micro console. So there were many people interested in financing that, and which is another example for crowdfinancing. These two examples are examples for products, so they are closer to the entrepreneurial context. But there's also this example from the Tesla Museum for Nikola Tesla, and Oatmeal, the company, raised over 1 million on Indiegogo for this project of the Tesla Museum, and only 1.3 million in only 9 days. There's an example for a more charity-oriented project which was financed by a crowd. So crowdfunding basically is financing on the one hand, so raising money, by a crowd on the other hand, by more than one individual, and these individuals normally only give small amounts, but if you pile this up, it's gonna be the amount you need, and you just saw the millions which were raised for Pebble Watch or for the other projects. So it's an initiative basically you as an entrepreneur you can undertake to raise money for either your project or your company in order to build your project, in order to build your company. And recently it was boosted, that idea, because it was also taken up on the web, and a couple of websites became very popular that helped entrepreneurs to do their own crowdfunding. Since you as an entrepreneur, you were able to put your project, your idea, your company on the website, and the crowd, which was already registered at these websites, were bidding or were putting money into your company. And there's several companies who do that. For example, Kickstarter on a project basis, a lot more, or Investment, which is a company which was funded here in Aachen, that is financing entrepreneurial companies. So an entrepreneur can go to this platform and register on this platform and go through some kind of due diligence process, and when the people from the platform think it's worth being put on the platform, they put it on the platform, and then the crowd, the registered users, are collecting the money, putting the money together to finance those companies who are on the platform. This is a typical example for crowdfinancing. So what is crowdfinancing about? First of all, there's different categories of crowdfunding. The first category is equity-based. Equity-based means the investors get a share in a company. However, on the other hand, and this is why crowdfinancing is to some extent between 4Fs and angels, the probability that these investors will help the company develop is very low. So in terms of additional support, crowdfunding or crowdfinancing is closer to the 4Fs financing. It is still private individuals, but it's individuals only putting money in, and not giving additional support. This is the very popular form for entrepreneurs raising money. The second one is donation-based. Donation-based, the contributions of these crowdfunding initiatives, they go to charity. An example, you donate money for charity, pay for 50 children in Africa, and to receive t-shirts. This is a typical example. So you can do that, and the crowd coming together, they can put together a lot of money in order to make this charity event for Angelina Jolie a big success. The third one is lending based. This is what we had with Pebble Watch, for example. Investors are basically repaid for the investment over time. So you either get the money back over time as a Pebble Watch, or you get the Pebble Watch, which is getting the product back. This is another form of crowdfinancing. And the last form is reward based. So if you, and this is mostly with movies, if you finance a movie, if you are one of the crowd who is financing the movie, you get, for example, here tickets for the movie Wish I Was Here. There's more examples to that. In general, this is all the categories of crowdfinancing. If you focus on what is important for entrepreneurs, most important is the equity-based crowdfinancing. And equity-based crowdfinancing means normally entrepreneurs get equity from a crowd, so from many people, small amounts of money. However, they won't get a lot of additional help, or normally they don't get additional support by the crowd.